Fire away.
All right, write your questions right here in the front.
Well, Hurst offensively obviously missed opportunities in the first half. Looking back, how important were those couple of drives in the first half inside the 5?
Yeah, well, I think you start with the turnovers, on the offensive side. We'll start with that. You got 4 turnovers in there. It's hard. You lose those opportunities and drives. But we had some chances for some big plays. That's what you got to do. I mean, you're playing a good defense, and you want to move the ball down the field, change field position. You saw that in the second half that they were able to do. You get some of those big chunks, allows you to create some tempo, with what you're doing. You stay ahead of the chains there, and then you get some big plays. So, we got to go back and look at it, and the opportunities are there. It's cashing in on those opportunities. We have guys to do that. We just have to do it. We got to go out there and do it. I mean, it's the bottom line.
Right here in the front.
What did you see from Grant tonight? It seemed like on a couple of the interceptions, maybe some ill-advised throws.
Yeah, there were some things in there, like a lot of guys on the team on both sides. His first game, there's some jitters, there's some mistakes that are made. He wasn't perfect, but I thought he played well. I thought he settled in there in the second half. He made some throws, checked the ball down, had some good decisions. A couple of those throws might have been ill-advised. A couple of those throws were going for big plays. And, that's one thing with our quarterbacks is, we want those guys to go in there and have a mindset of making that play. And there were some good plays made on the ball, too. So go back and look at it, clean those things up. But Grant, overall, without watching the tape, I thought he competed, played hard. I liked his demeanor on the sideline. It's a matter of improving in what we're doing in that area.
All right, over here on the far right.
We saw Jay had 32 touches, Shane had 14 catches. I think that's all fall camp. We kind of talked about a number 3 wide receiver, a number 2 running back, somebody stepping up, still searching for options kind of there.
Well, I think if you base it off your statistics, yeah. I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like we had some guys in there that were trying to get the ball to. That's just the way sometimes it works. And, those guys being good players, you're talking about checkdowns and things like that. I mean, for Jay, those guys get themselves in position to have opportunities to get the ball. And we're trying to get the ball to some other guys, but ultimately, until we do it, yeah, we have to establish somebody else other than Matt, other than Shane, other than Jay. I can go out there and make some plays, and we didn't do that yet, and we got to keep working on it.
Okay, again right here.
What did you see from the defense tonight? First 3 quarters, obviously, held them to 7 points.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, I saw the D-line. I mean, I'll say one thing. I heard a lot about the other D-line. I thought our D-line played well tonight. I give those guys a lot of credit. I thought they played well. I thought they played hard. I thought our linebackers, defense looked good. We gave up some big plays. I think you go back, and that's what football's about. We gave up big plays, and that changes the game, and the score changes, and it looks completely different than what it really is. And we have to eliminate that, but, at the same time, it's a team game. Both sides have to complement each other, and our defense for 3 quarters is doing everything they can to put us in position to go score, and we need to take advantage of that opportunity. At some point, the other side has to complement, what one side's doing, and I thought they played well. I'd like to still see them finish, regardless of what happens, with anybody else. You want to see them finish and play the whole 4 quarters like that.
Okay, right here in the front.
Hurst, obviously you guys spent a ton of time preparing over the last 8 months, new staff, all that. Seemed like they had a ton of false starts. They had some of that stuff. You guys seem clean and prepared for this game. What would you think of just kind of the way your team came into this game?
Yeah, I think from all that, all those unnecessary penalties, I don't think we had many of those. There's some holding penalties and some things on defense that I've got to go back and watch. But yeah, it was clean. The operation was clean, and we had, I think, guys in position that we'd hope we'd have. And like I said before, we need to take advantage of those opportunities. And our guys take a lot of pride in their preparation. It showed up, and we need to continue that. That shouldn't change, but we need to find ways to keep moving the ball, especially from the offensive side. Where we can take advantage of going out there and having good operation, but making that those drives end. And a couple of those drives we get down there on the goal line and we don't finish it. That's difficult. Our team didn't deflate, and that's one thing about these guys. They came back, they did it again, and that was one thing for me. You still wonder as you get into a game exactly what everybody's going to do and how they're going to operate. And our team didn't deflate there. And those guys kept battling. But that changes it. We're down there inside the 5-yard line. We get 2 scores, momentum changes, and that's what the game's about.
Okay, Ralph.
Coach, you just talked about getting close and not punching it in. It was not a matter of not being physical enough. Was it something that they did? Were you a little upset with maybe just not being able to move them off the line of scrimmage in close quarters?
Well, yeah, I think it was. That's a battle inside. We tried to run it in there and tried to be physical, and they were physical back. I mean, it was a battle. I don't know where it broke down or what happened. I couldn't say that right now. But, obviously we don't get it in and we're trying to run the ball, then you'd assume that, somehow, some way, they out-physicaled us in that situation there. And so we got to go back and obviously find a way to get it in. You're on the 5-yard line. You worked all that way to get down there. We got to be able to punch it in. And we just weren't good enough tonight to get that done.
Okay, right here on the far right.
Saw Dante Dion kind of came in and out of the game at times. It seems like he was trying to warm up on the sideline. Is he all right? And then obviously Tyler Horn came off the field as well.
Yeah, Tyler wasn't able to go back in, and I don't know the extent of that yet. Dante, kind of dinged up a little bit, back and forth, trying to get himself going. Had Bryan in there, had Moxie in there. Both those guys, they played. Both those guys have done a good job. So, give them an opportunity to go out there and let them play a little bit. So, I don't know if he could have gone back in or not. I don't think there was anything saying he couldn't at that point, but you had a couple other guys that you feeling pretty good about. So, if a guy gets dinged up, let him go play.
Knowing the caliber of Ole Miss, how do you leave here? Encouraged, discouraged, disappointed? What's your thought as you move forward?
Well, disappointed because we didn't win. That's what we came here to do. We came here to win, bottom line. And, we're not going to sit there and make excuses for not going out there and winning the ballgame. That's not what we do. We'll find ways to get better. I'm proud of our team. I'm extremely proud of our coaches, how they operated. The things that we emphasized showed up, and we weren't good enough to get it done tonight, bottom line. So we'll go back, and we'll go back to work. And the thing about it is, whether we've won this game or lost this game, we need to go back to work. It's never good enough. And we're going to find ways to prepare ourselves. When we play at home next week, we got Colorado State, which is a good football team. And we've got to find ways from now until we show up and play those guys on Saturday to get better. And that doesn't change whether we win or lose. That's just how we do it.
Okay, last question right here.
The offensive line tonight seemed like a little overwhelmed early, pretty good the first quarter, and then the second half seemed to do a pretty good job. Did you guys make an adjustment? Did they play better? What happened there?
Yeah, Chad, I don't know, or even early on overwhelmed, because we ran a couple plays now that I thought our guys, as far as just shape and tempo and all that, you didn't see our guys laying on the field. That's one thing about our team tonight that I saw. I didn't see anybody laying on the field. Nobody's out there gassed. Nobody's out there holding their hamstring or anything like that, like they're cramped up. Our guys played. And so that tells me a lot about the type of shape we're in. We came into this game, I think we were fresh, came into this game with the mentality, and ultimately it comes down to execution. But as far as how our guys played and how they played up front, I thought those guys did a heck of a job against a good D-line.